Well, folks, as anticipated, I just want to show for everybody to see. She's sleepy, so we're going to put her back down in my lap so she can go to sleep. But Adora is here with me to cover the updated news as correct Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel has just been announced in the form of essentially a tweet from Wizards of the Coast, as well as an appearance on their website. So here you can see here, Light Your Path to Adventure, an anthology of 13 standalone adventures set in wondrous lands for the world's greatest role-playing game. Through the mists of the ethereal plane shines the radiant citadel. Travelers from across the multiverse flock to this mysterious bastion to share their traditions, stories, and calls for heroes. A crossroads of wonders and adventure, the Radiant Citadel is the first step on the path to legend. Where will your journeys take you? Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel is a collection of 13 short standalone D&D adventures featuring challenges for character levels 1 to 14. Each adventure has ties to the Radiant Citadel, a magical city with connections to lands rich with excitement and danger, and each can be run by itself or as part of an ongoing campaign. Explore this rich and varied collection of adventures in magical lands. 13 new standalone adventures spanning levels 1 to 14, each with its own set of maps. Introduces the Radiant Citadel, a new location on the ethereal plane that connects adventurers to richly detailed and distinct corners of the D&D multiverse. Each adventure can be set in an existing D&D setting or on worlds of your own design. Introduces 11 new D&D monsters. There's a story for every adventuring party, from whimsical and light to dark and foreboding and everything in between. And here we can see the sort of crystalline-y alt cover that we'll get from local game stores. Here's a little bit better of an image. That's probably my phone blowing up with everybody telling me that this has been announced. Let's see if we can get this image to open up, though. Here we go. So here you can see there's this weird, like, it's interesting that you can see the bat creature here, but you can't see it. Oh, he's up here. And you can actually get this as a Twitter banner, Facebook banner, a backdrop for Zoom, and a variety of different things here. So, oh, I think I even saw a little kobold merchant here. So interestingly enough, this is as I kind of predicted, an anthology adventure series in the same vein as Candlekeep Mysteries and Tales from the Yawning Portal. It looks like it can be run individually as one of, what did they say, however many different, 13 different adventures, or it could be run as a sort of campaign, conjoining each of the 13 adventures together to go from levels 1 to level 14. And it is sort of, it's not anything that anybody really thought. We thought it might have been a Planescape thing. People were saying they thought it might have been Kamigawa, I think, is the neon sort of futuristic Magic the Gathering setting. People thought it was going to be Spelljammer. I really didn't think this book was going to be any of those. It does have the ethereal plane and sort of seemingly... It does say travelers from across the multiverse flock to this mysterious location. So it does have Spelljammer multiversal sort of things attached to it. My guess is this might be a way to tease at things we'll see later in the year, which I do still believe that Spelljammer is coming later in this year. I'm sticking to my guns on that one. And I bet you this would be a good way to sort of tease little bits here. Maybe you'll find a Plasmoid or an Auto-Gnome or something of that nature will be characters or NPCs within one of the adventure or a couple of the adventures. But no, it is purely an adventure module. I'm not... I don't know. I'm going to buy it, right? And I'm going to do a giveaway of it, so I'll buy multiple copies, and I'll head to my local game store and pick up multiple copies. I'm also not a huge fan... Like, I am, part of me is, but part of me isn't, of this Radiant Citadel alt cover. It is very pastel-y and crystalline, and I like that. That does appeal to a part of my personality for sure. But I just love something about the simplicity of the Hydro 74 covers. And maybe if I see this in person, it'll sway me differently. And then 11 new monsters. That's it. I feel like you could have more. So again, this is going to be one of those ones that's split because there doesn't seem, and I feel like were this something that had player options of any kind, whether a new background, a new race, something like that, that would be something that you would detail in the bullet points about the adventure, right? It just talks about how it's a new setting, new location, and has some monsters. Now, even if you had 2 new backgrounds in this book, you would probably make one of the bullet points includes 2 new plane hopping Radiant Citadel based backgrounds or whatever. When you market this purely as something that is only towards DMs, which is essentially what this is, you are going to lose, I think, some of the player base. Now, there's a difference. I guess this is an adventure module, so it's designed to pretty much appeal to DMs and people running the game. But, and I've been a long advocate of making DM-based resources, things just for the Dungeon Master, like a Dungeon Master's Guide 2, something that just gives mechanics. But as we've routinely seen, Wizards of the Coast doesn't seem to like to make something wholly for Dungeon Masters. They like to sort of dip into both pools and have, you know, DM-related tools in a player-based resource. A new campaign setting, but it has player options, and it has, you know, races, and it has feats, like we've seen with all the Magic the Gathering stuff. And the reason, I think, behind all of that is that makes it so that players will go buy your book. Right now, this might have some new Magic items in it. We know it only has 11 new monsters. So is this a pickup for every DM? I guess maybe if there's mechanics around plane hopping, but it doesn't really seem to suggest it can be set in, yeah, and it has the opportunity. I do like this, that it can be set into an existing campaign setting or in something that you've created. That's nice to see, sort of drag and drop adventures. And I guess if it is set on the ethereal plane, it does have that benefit of, you know, every plane in theory is connected to the ethereal plane in some way, whether it's your homebrew world or Greyhawk or Dragonlance or what have you. So that's good. I enjoy seeing that. But I don't know what we're gonna, I don't know. I really don't know. Jury's still out. Maybe, I'm sure there's probably been videos at this point from Todd Kenrick interviewing people on the D&D website that's talking about all of this. But as it stands right now, from what I've seen, which is just that announcement, I'm not really seeing much that's making me too endeared towards. Again, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm still gonna review it. But I'm not, like, thrilled by it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if more information comes out with, you know, further information, whether it's in a Dragon Plus article or a series of interviews or something along those lines, I will make sure to do a video to cover all of that. I'm checking just to see if I don't really see much else anywhere. So, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you next time.